Hey guys, it's Mike McErlane coming to you live with another episode of Workout 101. In this particular episode, I'm going to be covering an exercise everybody's used to doing. You've probably seen me do some of these movements utilizing the bands. Well, I'm going to go through an entire setup of how to incorporate the bands while you bench. Before I get into it though, I just want to say that there's going to be a special coupon code for Maximize by iForce Nutrition that I'm going to be giving at the end of this video. So stay tuned for that code and you can get that over at iForceNutrition.com. So let's get into it. First of all, we have the bands here. Now the bands obviously are a piece of equipment that's starting to get a little bit of momentum. You see a lot of people using them in the gym. If you have not gotten a set of these bands, I highly recommend them. We offer them with a link on the site. They're called Body Elastic Strength Bands. The nice thing about these bands is that they have a clip system to where they have the barbell cuffs that are a Velcro strap that can fit around your hand or any barbell or dumbbell. They also have a clip system here to where they're easily clipped on, so it's very easy and very universal to use with any exercise. So let's get into it. We have a standard barbell here. Now traditionally, if you're going to be using the bench and you want to incorporate the bands, you always want to go with about half of what you would normally bench for those amount of reps. So in other words, if I know that I can bench, let's say 250 pounds 10 times, I'm going to cut that in half and go for a set of 10 and then add the bands as necessary. These particular bands, the orange here, add about 60 pounds of resistance when they're fully stretched out. Okay, so what we do is we're going to slide the barbell cuffs on top or around the weight here. We're going to put the weight on first, put the barbell cuffs over the weight stack here. We're going to do it on both sides. All right. From there, and I'm only going to use one band for these purposes, but I'm going to take the band and I'm going to slide it underneath the lowest part of the bench here. If your bench setup does not have a bar down here, I suggest placing a heavy dumbbell in its place to where the bands can slide easily underneath. From there, I'm going to sit on the bench and I'm simply just going to hook one end of the band to the strap and the other end to the band to the strap. Now from here, the last thing that I want to do to make sure that I have equal weight on either side is I'm going to press down on the band here, and the distance from the band is going to pull in one direction or the other so I can feel that it's even, and I'm going to let it come right back up. As you add more bands, just do the individual bands to make sure that there's even resistance, okay? So right now, the purposes of doing this movement, if you get stuck in a plateau, and a lot of people get stuck on the bench, it's the most popular exercise that everyone does in the gym. The bands have proven research to significantly increase and actually help you break through those plateaus. University studies show that that has been the case. So if you get stuck to where you can't push too much weight, grab a set of bands, okay? That's the whole reason why we emphasize them on the trainer. The nice thing about the bands is they incorporate something that not a lot of free weighted exercises or machines can add, and that is speed. When I want to go for speed, as far as pushing and pulling the weight as fast as possible, that helps recruit the type 2B fast twitch muscle fibers, which are the muscle fibers that grow the biggest and the strongest. So in the bench, if I want to become powerful in this particular movement, and I'm getting stuck in a plateau because I simply just can't press or push enough weight back up, add a set of bands, okay? Now, I'm going to show you how to do this movement, and then we're going to follow it up with a few more tips, okay? So here we go. First, what we want to do when we do bench, I see a lot of people do certain things on the bench that really, their technique is not right. A lot of guys will put their feet up on the bench here. We never want to put our feet up because what that does, it creates an unstable surface to where we might fall. It's not the way to really drive the weight back up. When you want to bench, you want to drive through your feet. So you need both feet planted onto the ground. There are 5 points of contact when you bench. There's your right leg planted, your left leg planted. Your butt should be planted on the bench. There should be a slight arch in your back. Your shoulders or your shoulder blade should be on the bench. And lastly, your head. So that's 5 points of contact that are remaining in place on a base. If you're not doing that, then you need to really look at your technique. Another thing is when guys bench, they bring the head up. Don't do that. Keep your head planted onto the bench, all right? So as we unrack the bar here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go for as many reps, probably about 10 to 15, as fast as possible, okay? So unrack it and down. Now, the reason why I went as fast as possible, again, is to recruit those type 2B fast twitch muscle fibers. Doing free weight only, if I were to try and go as fast as possible, I'd lose control over the weight. The ball would fly up faster than I'm pushing. Because the bands provide resistance down the whole time, we can move that weight fast. The other benefit of adding bands to an exercise like this is the weight changes. As the bar lowers down, the bands lose tension. The weight gets lighter. As the bar moves up, the bands increase in tension, making the movement heavier. Now, you all know if you bench, there's a sticking point. You're strong on the way down, but right here, you might not be able to get it. What this does is this allows you to push through the sticking point because the weight isn't as heavy down here, but as you're coming up and getting stronger, you're actually pushing heavier weight. So because you can only push as much weight as you are weak down here, you're only maxing out as weak as you are. That's the reason why you plateau. By adding bands, this allows you to push through those stronger points in that range of motion with the weight getting heavier, which is going to allow you guys to break through your plateaus on your bench. To download a workout program utilizing this exercise, click below. Until next time, it's Mike McErlane with Workout 101. Take care, guys.